Welcome back to Sons of Liberty. So let's continue.
Speaking of Sons of Liberty, as you may recall from the last part, that's literally what this terrorist organization is called.
This looks familiar.
Yes. Blood everywhere.
Also a lot of
yeah, a lot of.
Well, that's how this scene was in the original game. Okay.
I can't believe it might have been used.
So what the? So clearly somebody was in a rush when they went through here. Apparently.
Maybe the terrorists did this, unless these are their own men, in which case something's wrong.
It's Agent 47 and someone did their kill everyone route.
They didn't even clean up after themselves.
The twist is that this is the movie version of Agent 47.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. A crossover between Hitman and Metal Gear Solid could be pretty cool.
Sure. And now we meet a new character.
Wait for it, because get ready to be tripped out.
He's one of the super soldiers we have to fight over. Again, this being a Metal Gear game, obviously going to have some super soldier bosses with amazing powers, and here's our first one in this game.
So yes, it turns out that once again, someone is killing the soldiers.
There you go. There he is.
And here he is. Well, so much for our backup.
Dracula?
He is a vampire, so... Yeah, he is a vampire, so yes.
Oh, Pedro, he's technically scientific, but yeah, he's pretty much a vampire.
Yeah.
Basically, nanomachines made this guy the scientific version of a vampire.
Yeah, nanomachines.
Hence his name.
These cutscenes.
Hideo Kojima.
Okay, it's like I said. I do honestly feel like Twin Snakes was taking cues from this game in terms of how to direct its stuff.
I think he's referring more to the blur effect given to the slow-mo.
Yeah, I think that's what he's referencing. Yeah.
Yeah, Twin Snakes also had blur too, especially in that bit with the hind D.
Okay, so let's investigate.
So yeah, so much for our backup, because you know they're kind of dead.
Alas.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be a Metal Gear game if we could control a whole army, now could it?
Actually, there are several Metal Gear games where we can do just that.
It would still be a while before we get to Peace Walker. Let's put a pin on that.
Well, Portable Ops technically as well.
True.
What are you doing?
He's a vampire, Dwitz. Well, he's a vampire. What do vampires usually do?
Dick, look at it.
His dick is in his neck?
I mean,
that's a weird anatomy.
I mean, if he's into that, that's fine.
Have you been checking out a certain hentai? Because you literally just described the plot of one.
I don't watch hentai.
5 today.
Pedro, do you know what he's talking about?
I do, actually.
Oh god, he's...
There you go, so this is Vamp. This is Vamp. He's voiced by Phil Lamar. If you don't know who he is, he's the voice of Samurai Jack.
Also the voice of Green Lantern from Justice League, Static Shock.
True, but Samurai Jack, I mention that because Samurai Jack is his most iconic role. So.
Hey, thanks!
Whoever you are.
I personally knew him from Matt TV back in the day, in the 90s.
Yeah, you did show us when we did Ghost.
Okay, I guess one person of our backup is still alive. That's something.
Mm-hmm. Don't jinx it.
I don't think he'll be much longer.
Where is he?
Wait a minute, that voice sounds familiar.
It does.
Huh.
Yeah, probably just someone that voice actor had a bad cough.
Totally, yeah.
Oh crap.
Raiden?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, looks like we're... Oh, or not.
Strange smell.
Well, a bite's a bite.
Again, in general, despite the bugs and everything, this guy doesn't have really the concept, there's the concept of personal space.
What are you waiting for?
Well, if you're gonna be a vampire, you kind of have to ignore the whole personal space thing in order to survive, so...
Jojo finds creative ways to not do that.
Yeah, Queen?
Are you all done cleaning up?
Yes, but wait till I tell you what
thanks, dude.
Something
Actually, this place is kind of a mess.
in the central unit with the president.
Be right there.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty
On
much.
your flag lives.
That was weird.
Yeah, that happened.
That happened. Well, let's see if this guy's okay.
I'm not an enemy. Calm down. My name is Pliskin. Iroquois Pliskin.
He
Lieutenant
literally
General
had to stop himself.
And think about it.
Alright, so this is Iroquois Pliskin, voiced by David Hayter. Oh, okay, so they gave a new role to David Hayter, I see.
Yeah.
Yes, a new role.
How did you get in? Fast rope descent from a Navy chopper.
Oh.
Have I seen you before?
Maybe.
Have I seen you before? What do you think, Shira? Have we seen this guy before?
Don't think
That's
so.
right. Foxhound was disbanded. Huh? Where were you before Foxhound? Delta Force?
I was part of the Army's
Okay.
Force 21 trials.
Force 21. That's about tactical IT deployment, right? Any field experience?
Hey, actual stuff
Not
with it.
really.
So this is your
Well, that's how this
I've
series
had
works.
extensive training, the kind that's indistinguishable from the real thing.
Like what?
Sneaking mission 60, weapons 80.
Yeah, there you go. And there you go. There's the VR. So there you go. The VR mission, the VR missions from the original Metal Gear Solid. There you go. So there you go.
We didn't really show them, but they can get pretty creative. Though.
Yeah,
Like
basically.
I said.
So basically, Raiden trained for this real-life mission by playing Metal Gear Solid 1 over and over and over and over.
Reality and urgency.
Which
The
again
only
leads
difference is
me
it
to
isn't
the
actually
theory
happening.
that Twin
That's the way they want
Snakes
you to
is,
think,
well,
to remove you from the
Raiden's
fear that goes
VR
with battle
version of
situations.
Metal Gear Solid
War is a
1.
video game.
That would be interesting.
What better way to raise the ultimate
Anyway.
soldier?
Yeah, what better way to... So yeah, Shiroi. There's this new thing now, Shiroi, where soldiers are not actually properly trained. They just get trained in virtual reality instead of actually going into the
VR
field.
Training is some kind of mind
Oh,
This is something
apparently.
people joke about.
Right, what's going on?
The Alpha team from Navy SEAL 10 is dead. No, a single survivor.
The kid's wired with nanomachines.
What did you say?
Well, since I don't want to reveal the
What about
ever
the
so
president?
elusive
Hold on.
Like they took him
history
somewhere
behind
else.
whoever this man is.
You said there was a survivor from SEAL Team 10.
Yeah, Lieutenant J.G. Pliskin.
Has he seen your face?
What?
This is a top secret mission. No one can know that we're involved.
It's a little too late for
Raiden's kind of had his mask off for a bit of a while, my dude, so...
Yeah.
What's up?
quite a few people
I don't
saw
think
his
he's wanted
face.
for most of this.
He's... That's what I guess...
Remember, Shirai, it's top secret.
Oh.
Oh no, Willem Dafoe!
What the hell?
Is that what happened
Navy
after he did Beyond Two Souls?
Impossible. This was
See,
years
we're on
before that,
we're on
bro.
a rig in the middle of the ocean.
Well-
What the fuck?
Are you
He
okay?
did go a little cuckoo.
Are you okay? Well, to be fair, he's been losing blood, so he got injured during the fight with Vamp, so...
Must have lost a few more punches.
I'm talking about Willem Dafoe over there.
Sure, sure, sure.
And you're
What was
smoking
that
as a
man
response to
just
that.
now?
That
It keeps him...
Again, who could this?
It keeps him relaxed, too.
I wonder what is the secret behind Pliskin here.
a wizard with
Pliskin?
knives, as you saw.
Oh, here you go.
And yes,
Hold on,
Vamp is
explanation.
really Romanian.
Won't see
Yep.
that in VR, I guarantee.
What is he?
One of the members
Dracula.
of Dead Cell,
Dead Cell? Him?
Dead
a
Cell.
special forces unit.
It's a great
created by
indie game.
ex-President George Sears. The name was originally intended to reflect its anti-terrorist functions. The unit would launch unannounced assaults on government complexes for the ultimate terrorism simulation. They were needed to show VR troopers like you how to deal with the real thing. But around the time their original leader died in prison, the unit began to unravel. They were
Oh,
always
dear.
close to the edge, but they became more and more extreme, began to go after U.S. allies, even civilians. We estimate that
George
fewer than
Steers,
100
Vamp,
people died as a
Batman,
result of
and
the
Yeah, there's
actions
like a
the dead
called
cell
Batman
arranged on
in
their
the
own.
unit.
They were out of control, and it all came to a head 6 months ago.
What happened?
The unit was devastated. There are only 3 left now, and you just saw one of them.
Why would they go after the big shell?
How should I know? I told you they were on the lunatic fringe.
What about their
Fair
leader?
enough.
He says he's Solid Snake.
Snake died 2 years ago.
Yeah, Snake died two.
Sure he
Snake,
did.
Snake died 2 years
Made
ago.
this big shell necessary in
Yeah.
the first place?
Right, and he was the one that sank that tanker.
Hey,
But he's a
Pedro.
legend.
Yeah, hold on.
Legends are usually bad news. There's not a lot of difference between heroes and madmen.
You're saying Snake is still alive and pulled another one?
No, he's not involved in this one. His body was positively ID'd 2 years ago.
There you go, guys. Snake is not alive. His body was positively ID'd 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What about the other soldiers?
Hey, Pedro.
Yes.
What if they had actually made it that Pliskin was his
Former Soviet
brother?
military.
Pliskin, but yeah. Oh yeah, I might as well actually explain that. Basically, sure, Pliskin is actually a direct reference to one of Kojima's favorite movies. That actually was
1997 Escape from
New York, which was actually one of the primary inspirations for the original Metal Gear game from '87. So
This is giving Edgeworth is totally dead. We're serious
What are you really
energy.
doing here?
I know, right?
Can't tell me, huh?
Like, and in both cases, mind you, the supposedly dead characters are literally on the cover. Although, to give Ace Attorney credit,
May come in handy.
Mia Fey was also on the cover of the first game, and well,
That being
we all
said-
know what happened to her by
Raiden
the
is such a
second
pretty
case.
boy. He does his work.
that being said, it begs the question: why is he here? What is he doing? And what has happened in the previous 2 years?
You know, okay, given his facial hair here and there, I do wonder about a certain thing. Though it
He was
depends
busy
on
as
if we're.
Basher.
Wait, are we ready to possibly suggest that this might actually be Solid Snake, Tio? Like, haven't you heard? Solid Snake is absolutely dead.
Yeah, this guy's named Pliskin. This guy's named Pliskin too.
Maybe this is Liquid reborn and, you know, using a bit of beard.
Excuse me, sir. I have been reborn as Liquid Ocelot.
There. Can you
Sure.
Raiden
chose-
is looking a little bit like depressed Riku. Or even with that whole
That's the thing, That's the thing,
his whole outfit and everything.
That's the thing, Shiroi. He looks like Riku, but he's voiced by Axel. So
Also, I love also the camera loves to just focus a bit on the character's asses.
Your frequency.
Yes.
Who directed this Toriyama?
No.
This game loves its ass.
No, Kojima.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, look,
This is where Toriyama got his inspiration.
look, I will give Kojima credit though. He also will do ass shots of men, not just women. So
Those amazing sculpts.
trust me, Shiroi. We haven't seen all of Snake's ass yet.
Well, remember, you already said like he wants to draw in a more more female fans. So it's like
Shiroi.
yeah, he's showing ass for everyone.
Yeah,
Sure.
there you go, girl. There you go, girl. Oh, actually, that allows me to. That's something that I'll bring up in a
yes,
moment.
dear.
No, just for quick. By the time of Metal Gear Rising, Shiri, even the fucking robot dog is a sculpt ass.
That actually allows me. That actually allows me to talk about something from the previous part, actually, because I actually went back and looked it up in between parts again. Turns out both me and Teo were right. According to the survey that was done, Shiroi, after the first Metal Gear Solid came out, most of the people playing the game were male, and apparently, according to the study, it's the reason why is because apparently Japanese women are not interested in playing games where they play as old men. So that's why so that's why Raiden was created, Shiroi, as an attempt to see if young Japanese women would
didn't
be.
we mention?
Yeah, we did. But Teo was wondering if maybe it was because of I was said because it was because of the women. Teo was thinking, oh, I think it's because of the old men thing. It's actually both.
I had read somewhere about.
It's actually both.
I read the complaint about old people.
It's actually both. It's actually both. Both me and Teo were right, actually. So there you go, Shiroi. That's why Raiden was designed as the pretty Leonardo DiCaprio boy type of thing, because he thought
Yeah, like I said, a twink.
It also explains the average, type of archetype design for a JRPG protagonist, because again, Japan the Japanese demographic loves these kind of design for protagonists.
Yeah. Because remember,
So yeah, we got now a SOCOM pistol.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, SOCOM? Isn't that the iconic weapon of a certain someone who should be dead?
Actually,
Well-
they're going to say that it's the IP that's only developed between the PS2 and the PS3.
That is true, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the only one who uses SOCOMs. Alright, let's close
It was
this.
so nice of that stranger Pliskin to give us that.
bomb.
Oh dear.
Looks like we found ourselves a bomb. Okay.
Well, it seems inactive at least.
I mean, it's green. Green's good, right?
Sure, we
Right.
do anything
Although-
about it.
Although can't green also mean go? So
Ooh,
in
ration.
which case,
Usually for a bomb, it would be a bleeping
Oh,
red
and we
light.
found another poster. Konami Eyes.
Okay, and the Statue of Liberty.
For Konami, it was for Konami's eyes only.
For dry the Konami
Ah,
eyes, use
okay.
Silent Hill. Wow.
All right, moving on. Oh, what's going on over here? Oh,
maybe
Practice,
some
I guess,
backup
though.
did survive after all.
oh yeah, this we're going to now meet your favorite of Dead Cell member, Jova.
Yep. Oh, wait, no. Oh
Is it-
yeah, no.
Isn't
There she is.
isn't Fortune your favorite? If I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
Yes,
Fortune.
yes, it is.
That's
For a moment, though, the back.
joke of Misa Fortune. I like his Skullgirls. She even brings her own saxophone theme.
Yes.
Oh, if there's one thing this franchise loves, it's the usage of a
Yeah,
saxophone.
the whole stick is that she, because of luck, things get defined, logic and laws of the universe get defined around her.
And yeah, as you can see, she apparently really wants to die, but yeah.
Hey, just like that other boss from the previous game.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, the president!
Queen.
Vamp.
Shepherd? Like, what was that?
Donkey!
Well, remember too, it's like a queen, as if to say, like, for example, when you meet someone, you're like, like you say his name, and then as a little way of greeting. So.
Hey,
I
Raiden,
just made
maybe
a
you
couple
might.
pause before mentioning something.
Hey, Raiden, maybe you might want to have warned those other guys just coming in.
Remember, Jova, this is a sneaking mission. He's not supposed to draw attention to himself.
Even though these guys are technically his backup, so oh dear, you may have to be a demonstration for what happens.
Today is another bad day.
Oh, you?
And yeah,
her
her.
weapon is a fucking railgun.
Yes.
Can give me happiness?
Taste ionized plasma, bitch.
Ah, yeah.
You may remember Fortune showing up during some of the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Although when we were fighting her, it was a snake. So now, instead, Raiden will have to hopefully try and find a way. Or will he?
Which would be apparently quite a problem, considering she's apparently the luckiest person alive.
Fine.
Maybe he'll be fine.
I'm okay. I love this particular section. It feels like a standoff between two cowboys.
I'll see you again.
Oh no, the poor seagull. I'm sorry, it's hard for me to feel sympathy for seagulls.
Mine?
Don't like seagulls?
They're kind of considered rats with wings for a reason.
And then Raiden's like, "Well, that happened. Let's report. Let's report."
This kind of demands a report.
Hey, Colonel, you wouldn't believe what I just saw.
The Bravo team was wiped out.
I see.
What happened to the cargo choppers?
Both of them are at the bottom of the harbor. Looks like your new hosts have a Harrier too.
A Harrier? What is this?
Calm down. It just means they anticipated the attack.
What?
Besides,
Which means
since
you're
the
on your
SEALs
own,
drew their
son.
fire,
Yep.
Your infiltration went off without a hitch. On top of that,
Hey, you
we
wanted
know
to
their
be like
defensive
Solid
capabilities.
Snake? Well, now's your
This was
chance.
all a feint?
Raiden, get a hold of yourself. The entire mission is in your hands now. Do you understand?
But
No
There's
pressure.
no time for questions. They could decide to retaliate for that failed assault.
It's up to you to
mean
defeat the
hostages?
Sons of Liberty
They
now,
could be in
Raiden.
danger, yes. But we need to consider the possibility that they'll blow the whole shell. If that toxic spell does take place, it'll devastate not only the harbor, but poison the coastline for generations.
Yep.
Raiden, we've had to adjust the mission objectives. The
You
priority
don't
is now
say.
removing those C4s that the terrorists wired over the big shell.
So there you go. That bomb we saw. Yeah, we have to try to do something about those
Colonel,
bombs.
you know I'm no bomb disposal expert.
That's not a
So
problem.
yeah, we now
The
have a
Bravo team
nuclear
brought
threat
an
on our
explosives
hands.
program.
So basically, tell me where the bomb is.
See, according to their mission plan. You should
At the very
find
least, we have
this.
something
die.
that
Is
can
this
help.
according to simulation 2?
What are you talking about? Get to Strut C and find him.
Hold on.
Colonel, that was a
I need
bit
to ask you
weird.
something
Yeah.
before I
And
go.
rude.
Make it
He
quick.
was. This was not in the simulation. What do you mean by that?
They couldn't hit her no matter how hard they tried. And that vampire too, it's like being in a nightmare you can't wake up from.
Jack, snap out of it.
And you, Rose, I can't believe you're on this mission. I keep thinking I'll wake up.
Raiden, this is real. And that's why you won't wake up.
But nothing seems real.
That is.
I've made up my mind
That
to
is.
stay with you.
Well, I mean, in Raiden's defense, everything that's happened ever since we started this mission has been very weird and felt off.
And we
Are
barely
you two
started.
done?
Trust me, we ain't
Reveal on
even
Strut
at
C.
touching the tip of the iceberg yet with the weirdness factor into this game.
Anyway, let's continue then. All right, so we had to
Raiden,
find.
So you've just
Go on.
okay, Raiden. So you've just seen a lot of your fellow men gunned down by an impossibly talented Luckmeister, along with a vampire who seems to just shrug off bullets. Good day for your first day on the job.
In other words, Tuesday. But hey, Debs, we saw we found a poster in the locker of a woman in the words Konami eyes. So for Konami's eyes only, I don't know.
Nah, that's
Well,
not
they
right.
made the mistake by putting in a video game for everyone to see.
Indeed. Basically, Cheryl, do you need a recap of what happened?
Yes.
Basically, we found another super soldier aside from Vamp, and this woman is called Fortune. Her deal here is that she's so supremely lucky, every single bullet that gets shot at her misses.
And a
It's
grenade
kinda
that
like
got tossed at her was
Domino.
apparently a dud.
This
Ah,
is
so
the
she's
Deadpool
done with
2
them
movie,
pretty much, yeah.
but less comedic, basically.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another fun thing. I'm gonna show this in the extras part because I wasn't quite able to trigger it despite my efforts. This is another great example of how the developers put in so many little touches and details that only a few players are gonna be able to see. For example, these are the bathrooms. There's a man's bathroom and a lady's bathroom, and depending on what you can actually come here and basically vandalize both bathrooms. And if you play your cards right, the Colonel will even later scold you for this. I will. I don't get it in my actual playthrough, but that's what the extra part is for.
If I recall correctly, there's a segment where a certain someone is in one of these bathrooms too. Do you show that off?
I don't think I
Pedro,
do.
if I recall correctly, it's only a case of where you can actually listen to what the character that you're referring to with a tool that you acquire later on in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, well, are you going to show, or I guess, well, yeah, I mean, show in the sense that we'll get to hear it.
I guess I didn't. Sorry.
You do know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Well.
Okay. It's okay. So the basic point is that that was one bathroom. Let's look at the other.
Which one is this? The ladies' bathroom or the men's?
I think this is the. I think this is the ladies' one. Or is
Let's
it?
see. If there's no stand-up,
I actually forgot.
If there's no stand-up toilets, then that means it's a ladies' bathroom.
Oh, never mind. This is the men's one. There's the stand-up toilets right there.
Yeah, I can see also.
Ooh la la.
Oh,
Dun, dun,
That's
da-da.
America.
God bless America.
patriotic.
God bless America.
I guess that's one thing to be thinking of when you're on the John.
Look, these soldiers deal with a lot of shit, okay? Bathroom is one of the few times where they can just relax. Just give them a break.
I mean, you're not very relaxed if you're shooting the mirror up. Wait,
I
what's
also
your
love
problem?
the attention to detail that if you get close to the dryer, it actually activates.
Yes, it does.
Ah,
Like I said, remember the development in the development. Kojima literally told the developers, if you guys have any good idea for something, put it in this hat, and I'll check at the end of every day. And any idea that Kojima approved of was put into the game, no matter how small or as long as it was a cool thing. Sure, why not? It's going in the game.
and oh boy, does it show. Wait.
Don't shoot.
Kane.
I'm not NYPD. I came in with the Bravo team. Who are you with? And what happened to SEAL Team 10?
They're all dead.
All of them? That's bad.
Did I tell you you could move?
It's all right. He's not one of the bad guys.
How did you
Don't
You seem to
teleport
know
here?
quite a bit, Pliskin.
Pliskin is very resourceful too.
What's your name?
My name is Peter. Peter Stillman.
Lecturer at Nav Scolio at Indian Head. Also a consultant for the NYPD bomb squad.
He's voiced by Greg
Got
Eagles.
dragged along for this.
Hey, wait a minute. Greg Eagles. Yes, also known as the Grim Reaper from Billy and
Keep up with
Mandy.
everything, as you can see. A famous church got wiped off the map thanks to me, with too many lives inside. All I lost was this leg.
So you're the bomb disposal guy.
Kid,
Okay,
this
I
is
guess
the
he had no
bomb
answer for
disposal
that.
guy. Open any explosives disposal textbook and you'll see his name.
Just ancient history now.
Why did they bring you out of retirement?
You may have
then?
also noticed
Because
that
the
there
terrorist group here
is
includes
even
one of my
more
students, the
cutscenes than
Emperor
in
of
the first
Explosives,
Metal Gear Solid
Fat
game.
He built an
But
atomic
yes,
bomb
we have now
with
to
his
deal with a bombs expert on the bad guys
Makes
team,
sense.
Fat Man.
And that's
Well, it also has to do with
I'm pretty rusty.
most of the characters in this game have some sort of arc that needs to be established, in this, including this guy. So let's look at this.
There are at least 2 people here who can claim to be experts at bomb disposal.
Are you two with SEAL Team 10? I didn't see you at the mission briefing.
Oh, we're with another squad. My name is Pliskin,
Uh-huh.
Lieutenant Junior Grade. Honored to meet you, sir.
Mr. Pliskin, do you have any experience with explosives disposal?
Don't worry about me. And he looks young, but he can do it. But we need more manpower.
I'm,
What's your name?
Raiden.
That's an odd name.
Yes,
Because it's a code
There was also
name.
an engineer with me.
Honestly, that's the most normal name that most of these people have.
To be fair, Shira, you're saying that, but this guy's called Peter.
Where is
So I haven't seen him.
Yeah, Peter
I
Stillman.
said, well, I did say most of these
I don't
people.
think so.
Yeah,
I
okay.
didn't find his body.
I see.
They told me he was a security systems architect for the big shell.
Why would they take a civilian along?
Everything in this structure is
Wait.
computer controlled.
This civilian looks familiar.
I never heard.
We're seeing a lot of familiar
Yeah,
looking
Lynn,
people.
what are you
lately.
doing here?
Later. Right now,
I'm sure it's nothing.
how to deal with all the bombs.
Oh my
There's no one
god,
left from
Dougie
the
Hauser!
squad.
Yup. So we have to do it ourselves.
But I've never defused a
So they
bomb
kidnapped
before.
Neil Patrick
Hold on,
Harris.
Off to confirm with the CO again.
Alright, codec call.
Glad to hear Stillman is safe. Assist him in any way possible to clear the C4 from the structure.
Colonel, you know I've never been trained in bomb disposal.
It's all right. The man you're working with
Like
is the
going
best
to a
in the
bicycle.
field. All you
It's
have to
alright,
do
you've
is
got the
follow his
best man for the
directions.
job with
You
you.
will, of course, keep your
Nothing
identity
bad
and
happens to
mission
him,
objectives
you're
to
just
yourself.
fine.
Is it true that an engineer came in with Stillman?
I wasn't informed of that. It's probably something the SEALs decided on their own. There are more important issues at hand, Raiden. The enemy may retaliate for the failed assault. Get those C4s neutralized now.
Yeah, true.
Colonel, I'm not qualified for bomb disposal.
Jack,
You
it's
said that
me.
already.
Yeah, we just said
You
that.
can
like a
do
broken
this.
record.
Trust me.
You haven't
But I'm
had
not
bomb
skilled at
disposal
bomb
training per
disposal.
se.
Well, keep in
I
mind.
believe in you. That means you can do it.
Well, keep in mind,
I
Raiden.
believe in you even when you get blown to bits.
You're up for this. You know that.
I'll believe in each of those
Are the
pieces.
results
Well, to his credit, he's a rookie. He's not only is he a rookie, he's a bit afraid of messing it up because if he does mess up, we're all dead. So I can understand why. So I can understand why he would be hesitant.
Look at this.
You haven't
Well, this
noticed,
honestly
however, how
begs
the
the question.
protocols are more colloquial, for lack of a better term, compared to the first game?
Anyway, he's actually teaching how it works
Yes,
now. Okay.
they are.
So this is a C4 bomb.
Well, if you really don't know what you're doing, yeet it out into the ocean.
It's live. You can see it pulsing.
Uh,
Now you spray
Okay.
this on the
It's a
sucker.
bomb!
There we go.
Yes, it's a bomb. That's kind of the whole
Spray
point.
freezes the detonator instantly.
How long does the effect last?
There's no way the thing can detonate in this condition.
And then
Even
it
if you leave
unfreezes
alone,
and blows
it'll stay
them
out
up.
of commission for at least 24 hours.
That's enough time.
So
Alright.
weird.
24 hours, that should be enough time, I guess.
So basically what happens is
spray
if
can be
you
used
have
from
to
several
pause the
yards
game
away.
and then come
Now
back
check
the
the
next
floor,
day,
ceiling,
you're still
wall,
near the
under
bomb
table,
when you
everywhere.
load up the
Try
save
to
file, the
imagine
bomb
the
blows up
location.
next
That's
to
for
it.
the
That's
We don't know a thing about
put a pin on that lives for the next game after
Help us
this.
locate the bombs.
Take this with you. It's what they call an ion mobility spectrometer. It can recognize ionized gas emitted by C4s.
the what? In other words, that little gadget sniffs out C4's scent.
That's right.
Thanks,
I've
Pliskin.
established a link up with your radar.
interesting that this cutscene is all done from this angle, but okay.
Have the sensor activated.
Well, remember, it's a tutorial and it's meant for Pliskin to teach you how the thing works. I
Also, I'm
guess.
guessing cutting some corners.
Fat man
The
will.
camera was super glued onto the opposite
Alright, so let's see who Fat Man is, actually.
Signatures?
Yes. On every bomb he builds, he always leaves a trace of the cologne he uses.
Serial killer.
The sensor also picks up that particular scent spectrum.
Cute that he loses cologne at the scene of his crimes.
From you?
No, it was his own quirk. He wouldn't work by any rules.
It's how he
except
knows
his
it's one of his
own, and he
bombs, I
followed
guess.
them like a religion. And common sense wasn't one of his strong points.
Sounds like a perfect guy to put in charge of bombs.
The US military strategy,
Hold on.
Found a son in him.
So there you go. Fat Man was his protege, and he kind of saw him as kind of a son, but unfortunately, Fat Man betrayed him.
Even at Indian Head, he got special treatment. I remember some people called him one of the fat cats. Maybe that's what started all this. I didn't teach him the most important thing I had to tell him. There are some things you have to pass on. The trick is to know which one. Right. All I taught him was skills. And now I have to stop him from using it to destroy us all.
It's like Batman versus the Red Hood.
Yep.
Let's see how
Also,
well
why
that
are there
sensor works.
watermelons in
All
there?
right.
Okay, I get it's a kitchen, but still.
I'm activating them. Watch.
Well, might as well explain that too. You can actually shoot those watermelons, and the watermelons will break depending on how and when you shoot them. Shoot them. So.
Shooting
Cut
them's
them in pieces.
meh.
Remember,
I was about to say shooting them's one thing, but I like to be able to cut
cut
them in 12
lemons.
different
Yeah,
ways.
cut lemons. Well, too, like I've said, maybe someone in the team thought, hey guys, wouldn't it be a cool idea if we put some melons in the kitchen so you can shoot them? And Kojima's like, well, I don't see why not.
Because the radar gets knocked offline when we're spotted.
Exactly. Fat Man would have allotted some C4s here in Strut C as well.
Here?
I know the structure of this facility.
Why is it always
and if he wants to
watermelons?
take out
Like,
the
it's a
plant
waste of
where
a
he would
good
target.
fruit.
You know this for sure?
Of course. I taught him the techniques he uses.
Dwibs, I think I hear
His
something
ideas are
coming
based
from
on
your
my
end.
theories. Demolition is a kind of ideology. It makes no exceptions for time or place. Big shell consists of two hexagons joined end on end, north to south. There should be packets of C4s on each of the vertices, or the struts in this case. You need at least
Now,
that
again,
building of
as Theo mentioned, the cutscenes are more colloquial,
No,
and
no,
there's
not
a bit of a...
cutscenes necessarily. I'm talking about the dialogue in the codex specifically.
Considering the shell's
those
architecture and
two.
composition from an
Fair
engineering
enough.
standpoint,
Well, to be fair, right now we're just basically doing a mission briefing to explain things. So.
Yeah, no, not these. I
Have a time,
didn't mean
please.
this anyway.
Go ahead to 3530.
That might be
Kid, this place is all yours. I'll take care of
3519.
Sure. We'll count you in when we get there.
Your card can get you into level 3 areas.
Oh boy, a key card.
Again, don't worry, Jova. The key card problem was addressed in this one. So, I mean, obviously, we're not going to be able to go for the entire big shell from the get-go because that would kind of break the game. But so,
your card key can open doors.
Yay.
Clearance level 1. Pliskin, your card can get you into
click.
level 3 areas.
Click.
You needed to get next door to shell 2.
How did you get this?
That engineer I told you about gave it to me. You were supposed to program a set of all access cards once we were on site. Unfortunately.
Oh, so this engineer apparently is very good with computers. Okay. Nice to know. It's kind of like a certain other person we know.
As they come up. Let's get going.
Don't know who you're talking about.
You stay here.
No, I'm going.
The two of us can handle it. Don't worry.
But
So there you go. Raiden and Pliskin are going to work together to disarm the bombs.
There's a war going on here. I don't have time.
I wonder if we'll get to play as Pliskin too.
Why don't you just let us handle the grunt work? You can tell us what to do over the radio, like in the original mission.
Yeah, considering your, age and, limp, it's probably if you just stay back and instruct us. You'll be our guy in the chair as.
This is a dangerous one.
I mean, this is a kitchen. Make some snacks, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. See.
So again, one thing to keep in mind though.
Also, in the background, that nice poster in the background, man. Okay, you gotta give. They're the bad guys, but you gotta give them this. They have great decoration taste. I mean,
it's like the master of his musical taste.
I mean, this place is pretty boring. They gotta spruce it up a little bit.
Yeah.
That is, unless this stuff was already here before they took over Big Show.
Marine Corps talk.
Okay.
Normally team leaders stay in the
Yeah, you may have noticed we've had a lot of cutscenes literally coming bit after bit after bit, which...
Yeah, this basically Shiroi is also another thing that some people also have a problem with the Metal Gear series. Because the plots are, of course, very elaborate and have a lot of detail and a lot of, plot threads going on at the same time. And this will, of course, become into a big thing in Metal Gear Solid 4. These games have a shit ton of cutscene time.
Like this. When it comes to the original games, I feel like there's a bit of an even-numbered curse among the Solid series. 2 and 4 are the most egregious with having a ton of story that if you care about it, you don't want to skip, but if you're really wanting to get to that gameplay, you're gonna have to wait around for a bit.
Is 4-1 people joke about being a movie?
Yes.
Yes. Sure. It's not even a joke. There's literally more story
That
than
game,
the actual game.
that quote-unquote game, Shiroi, is 70% movie.
Good luck, kid.
Oh.
That's the way. It's one of those things, Shiroi, where if you're not into the story, like I am, that game is probably not for you. That's the basic gist of it.
Do
So,
not get me wrong.
Metal Gear Solid 4,
but I cannot deny that it has some of Kojima's isms kind of ramped up a little bit.
Sure. Metal Gear Solid. I love Metal Gear Solid 4, but I will still tell you, technically speaking, Metal Gear Solid 4 is not a good game. It's a great experience for the fans who have been invested since day one, like me. But if you're not among those, yeah, probably give it a skip. Anyway, let's save.
Alright then. Data save. Good.
Very easy.
It's very strange though because.
Hold on, Shiroi, I'm gonna need you to interrupt you real quick, because.
Oh yeah, okay.
Let's have a homecoming party.
Ooh, homecoming party.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll make dinner. Oh, what's wrong?
Well, that sounds good, but how about we eat out at that one restaurant instead? You know.
That's a very nice way to say your cooking sucks.
So she's one of those anime girls.
Yeah, I guess that's okay too.
Considering Kojima based her on his wife, does that mean his wife?
Well, I get the feeling Kojima had to sleep on the couch a bit after this game came out.
Don't worry.
It's like, honey, what did you mean by this?
No, I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the character.
No.
But you based the character off of me.
No, sure.
Just based off doesn't necessarily mean everything about
like,
her is
yeah.
accurate.
Well,
Characters aren't the real people. That's what people say, isn't it?
Yeah, what Whip said. Second, remember the common joke that me and Vanessa like to make regarding the interactions between Jack and Rose is, of course, the whole, hey, do you know what day is it tomorrow? And we just go, okay, oh God, whose anniversary is it? It's mine. Or no, it's yours. No, it's ours? Which is it? Which is it, woman? Please tell me.
Well, guys, for as weird as things have
Hold
gotten,
on,
I hope
hold on,
you're
Shirley
ready
has something
for
to say.
things to get...
Go on, Shirley.
Yeah, just very quick. I feel like amongst, this particular genre, I feel like this game, you probably do get into it for the story.
Oh, trust me.
Like, I'm not sure most people pick up this series for the gameplay itself. Even if the gameplay is good, I feel like...
Oh, trust me, Shiroi, that's exactly...
the story and characters.
Trust me, Shiroi, that's exactly the thing. Metal Gear Solid 5 is literally a reverse of 4. It's 70% game, but only 30% movie. And there's still quite a lot of fans who don't like that game because it toned the story down way too much, in their opinion.
Let me put it like this, Shiroi. We have to keep in mind the context of things here. While a lot of people did enjoy the story of Metal Gear Solid 1, they still wanted to, actually play the game here and there. Like, here's the thing. I feel like Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 3 find a good balance between story and gameplay.
Yeah.
It's Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 4 that can really feel like they get to the point where it's just cutscene upon cutscene, which doesn't help when they can get preachy here and there. The thing with Metal Gear is this. There are a ton of different sections of the fan base here. That said, I'd say that there are enough fans who probably play it more for the gameplay that, yeah, again, a noticeable amount of people were kind of a bit irked. And you know what? Here's the thing. I don't even think the plethora of cutscenes themselves are a problem. I think my issue is just when a lot of these cutscenes get lined up one after another and another.
It is important to say that if you're mostly into the gameplay experience, you can skip the cutscenes. So if you're not interested in the story and you just want to focus on the gameplay, you can do that. You can just skip all the cutscenes with the start button. So if that helps you, that you can go for that.
Although, if you're playing for a good balance between gameplay and story,
which is me. Yeah.
I will say this. I feel like while Metal Gear Solid 2 has its issues, it doesn't... Well, okay, it kind of goes towards it, but it's not to the meme tier that Metal Gear Solid 4 is like...
Let me put it this way, Shiroi.
Oh boy.
Let me put it this way, Shiroi. Metal Gear Solid 4 is one of those games where you have to know what you're getting into. Are you invested in these characters and the world and the lore and the political fiction? If you're invested in that, play it and you'll enjoy the Avengers Endgame tier equivalent of the Metal Gear series. It's only 40% game, but if you're into the story like I am, you'll have a blast. That's basically the gist of it.
For the love of God, make sure you play all Metal Gear games that you can before getting to
Metal Gear Solid like I said, 4. That's why I said Endgame, in the same way that Endgame really works at its best if you are already an MCU fan and know all this shit from beforehand. Because there's so many callbacks and jokes in Endgame that only people who are already invested in this will get. Like they finally have Captain America. Yeah, I can do this all day. I know. Right. I've said that. So again, it's the same thing with Metal Gear Solid 4, right? So it's one of those things where it depends on how invested in the story people are. If you are, 4 is definitely going to be a great experience. It's technically not a good game, but as an experience, as a story experience of just getting the ultimate emotional finale of the Solid Snake saga, it delivers on that. So that's the basic gist of it. It has some of my favorite moments in the series, and a very powerfully moving ending. So
Shiroi, how weird are things to you right now? Let's see, we've got Pliskin, who looks a lot like Snake, but is totally not him. An entire backup team suddenly taken out by a vampire and basically Domino. And now suddenly the mission objective kind of took a huge change all of a sudden, and we're dealing with a potential nuclear problem here with the Sons of Liberty, aka the leftover remnants of a super soldier program of sorts meant to prepare soldiers for the real deal, only to become the bad guys themselves.
So what you're saying, it's Metal Gear.
Yeah, I was going to say, to answer the question, haven't been through many games so far, but honestly, that seems pretty par for the course.
It is. Oh, it is. Well, okay. I think I have a better question, Jova. Okay, Shiroi. Okay, let's just get into this. Like, might as well ask you right now. Okay, so
sure.
Do you have are you invested? Or do you want to see where this goes, or do you think like because the only way people will of course be, because people like me tolerate the amount of cutscenes because we're generally invested in this. So let me ask you: Are you intrigued? Do you want to see where this goes? Are you invested?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all that needs, honestly. To me, it's one of those things where Metal Gear Solid 4 is technically not a good game, and guess what? I'm okay with that. I can still love it.
Oh, yeah.
I can still love it, regardless of that.
Pretty much so. Like,
that's okay.
Trust me, I have no shortage of criticism to give Metal Gear Solid 4, but it's one of those games where, yes, I have critiques. I still flipping enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, not to mention, one thing that is also important to remember is that, when it comes to the whole too many cutscenes argument, one thing, okay, 4 of course doesn't get that excuse, but I will argue that 1 and 4 have the excuse that these games were made back when the narrative-driven game was still a new thing. So I feel like they have that excuse, like obviously Kojima, you can argue Kojima got too enthusiastic by putting so many cutscenes one after the other, but at the same time, considering the time that this game came out, back when cutscenes were starting to become prevalent in games, it was fair that at the time maybe people didn't really think too much about the ratio, I guess. So I think it is fair. It's in 4 that it really becomes a problem, because by the time we got to 2008, he should have already realized that. That being said, go on.
My take on it is that 1 found a good enough balance. It could feel at some points like you were watching a movie, but I felt like the cutscenes were, they were plentiful, but they were spaced out and paced out enough. It also helped that the story was arguably better integrated in with the gameplay, so certain things that were technically cutscenes were still playable gameplay.
Sure.
I feel like Metal Gear Solid 2 is definitely more of what Metal Gear Solid 1 for both the good and the bad.
Sure.
In that regard. That being said, though, I do agree that no, we're not to the point of Metal Gear Solid 4, and you're a lot less likely to be annoyed by it in this game than you are in 4.
For me, it's one of those things where if I'm interested, I'm interested. I'm not complaining. That's basically how I feel about the whole situation. If I was bored,
that definitely does help.
If I was me and Shira are interested. She just told me after all. Me and Shira are interested, so we're like, well, okay, I'm interested. So by all means, tell me more. But I'll say one more thing about that. There's also another thing, Shira, that also, again, technically not an excuse, but it basically explains why the game is the way it is. The reason Metal Gear Solid 4 is 70% movie is because it has to wrap up 10 years of lore. It was meant to be the game that ties up.
A lot of lore.
It was meant to be the game that ties up all the loose ends, finishes all the character and narrative arcs, and ties everything up with a neat little bow. That's basically, so obviously, in order to do it in a way that's satisfying, you have to really go out of your way to put it all in, So it's one of the. So it's one of those things where it's also important to know that the cutscenes in this game are so the storylines in this game are so politically elaborate and full of threads and full of commentary. In order for these themes to breathe, you kind of do need long cutscenes. There's actually one particular thing from Sam Lake from Remedy that he said once about this topic that I very much agree. So I would like to bring this up really quick before we quit. Sam Lake once said, and I quote, "Cutscenes are not inherently a bad thing. In fact, sometimes they can be preferable over forcing a moment to unnaturally be interactive." And I can actually give an example of mine that I actually agree with. Heavy Rain, the sex scene in Heavy Rain. I still defend that scene would have, again, assuming that the emotional investment was working, obviously, that scene would have worked much better if it was just a cutscene, instead of making us do a QTE sex thing, which breaks all immersion. See, that's a clear case of
Actually, I do have a better example on that, Pedro.
Well, okay, go ahead.
All the time in modern game, you're forced to walk behind an NPC at a very slow pace.
Sure, if that helps you. That being said, yes, sometimes it actually can be preferable to make something a cutscene over forcing something to be interactive when it clearly doesn't work. So so it is important to remember that, I will argue.
Here's my take on the situation here. I am invested in the story of Metal Gear Solid 2 enough that I, for the most part, am fine with the cutscenes of this game. That being said, there are some moments in this game where I feel like, okay, these could have all just been one collective cutscene instead of just, oh, that's the end of this cutscene, now, oh, suddenly here's another cutscene. Also, there are some points where I do feel that the game can get pretty preachy, and it just goes on and on and on. Like, let me put it like this. For the most part... Funny. A bit of meta humor there, to you. But
I'm
yeah,
just saying, we should have ended the part a while ago.
Yeah, that's... Okay. We can talk maybe about this, but more unless it's really important, Jova.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you guys that, so I might as
well... No, he has got a point. Go on.
Don't worry, Jova. I can dream both of you.
Teo, come on.
Don't overstep, Teo. Don't overstep.
Come on, Jova.
Anyway, though, here's my take here. When the game is fine with its story here, I don't mind the cutscenes. It's just when the game can get a bit preachy and it goes on and you literally can't do anything about it is where, yeah, some of that mindset does start to creep in and I'm like, okay, we could have cut this down here. I'll explain more when we get to more relevant parts like that. For now, though, the weirdness continues in the next part.
See you in the next part, everybody.
Yeah.
See ya.